Today we're talking about bad decisions and maybe a little bit of decisions as a whole, but more bad decisions, right? I've been thinking about this a little bit recently, and your decision making matters so much. And if you don't believe that your decisions matter and what you do matters, then I'm gonna probably convince you otherwise. So let's jump into it. Is crazy how a bad decision can affect your life forever. In the same way, a good decision can affect your life forever. Yeah, dude. I mean, it is just insane how hanging around bad people can impact the way that you think, can impact the way that you feel, can impact the way that you move and operate in your life, right? Number one, that's already scary. Now, I think it's hard to really grasp just how deep bad decisions can be and how much they can truly negatively impact you for forever. And the reasons that we need to absolutely 100% make sure that we are thinking out our decisions, which I have a video going over decision making, but that's not always the case, right? There is decisions that we make on the fly, and we have to be strategic and think about constantly trying to do right by ourselves. Because if we're not doing right by ourselves, like, we should learn right and wrong, and we should hold ourselves to a standard to ensure that bad decisions can't necessarily happen and totally ruin our lives long term. So let me give you a couple of examples. I listened to not a video. I don't remember where I saw it, to be honest, but it was about this woman cop who was playing around with an affair or had a relationship with another cop, and they were dealing with some struggles, right? She ended up driving into her apartment complex, I believe it was in Texas, and she wasn't paying attention and ended up parking like one floor higher, right? And when she parked one floor higher, just not paying attention, right? Maybe she lived on level 3, she accidentally went to level 4. You know, some apartment complexes, like as far as especially ones that have like parking garages, and that's what I'm talking about. She went to the 4th floor on a parking garage instead of the 3rd, and she ended up going inside. All the apartments and hallways and everything look like the exact same, right? So if you're not paying attention, it's like door on your left, door on your right, door on your left, door on your, like, it all looks the same. The paint's the same. Everything's the same. She ended up going and she saw that her front door was cracked open, went inside, saw that there was somebody else who, it was just their apartment, thought somebody was breaking into her house, pulled out her gun, shot this dude, and now is spending the rest of her life in jail. Why? Because she wasn't paying attention to what she was doing. And the result of it is she made several bad decisions. Number one, obviously, being a part of an affair. And I can't remember if the dude was like, yo, we can't be together anymore, or if he was like, my wife found out, or whatever it was. And then from there, like, ended up killing somebody that was rightfully in their own house, which she ruined somebody else's life. She probably ruined multiple people's, right? His mom, his dad, like all of his family. Killed him, obviously ended his life altogether. And in the result of that, legally ruined and destroyed her life and destroyed her family's life, right? Her sister, I think she had her mom, her sisters. That is 5 minutes of mistakes to negative impact potentially hundreds of people. And I know it negatively impacted me, and I was like, holy shit, dude, like, you gotta be so careful, because like, you can, and again, that's an extreme for sure, but like, for her, it was just 5 minutes of like, what is happening, right? Just not being in the right mindset, not thinking like, they talk about it legally, yo, but there's different plants, different doormats, different door decorations, like, you should have been able to recognize that. And although I do agree, I don't think in any sense that like, that should normally happen, and doesn't really happen. Sometimes you're just out of it, man. You put the cereal box back in the refrigerator or something, or, you know, it's these little things where you're just like, what? Oh crap, what am I doing? Or how often have you, if you do drive, have you driven somewhere and you go, oh shit, like, how did I do not remember getting here. Like, I was just in autopilot and I was just driving. In the same way that like, or if you don't drive, and or if you do, you just like miss a turn, something small, right? But maybe that small turn ends up you getting, you know, somebody not paying attention, you get into a car accident. You're like, oh shit, like, if I would have never made the wrong turn, this might have never happened. Another example would be me personally. And again, this maybe doesn't relate to everybody on that level, but I have a motorcycle. Motorcycles are incredibly dangerous, right? Or maybe the rider / drivers around you, right? Motorcycles can be dangerous, right? We'll blanket statement it, but there's relativity to it. Motorcycles can be incredibly dangerous, and they're really fast. So you can go really, really fast on a motorcycle. Not saying that I would ever do this. And one mistake, one pothole, one big thing that can't be dodged in the road. If you're going, if you're going 70 miles an hour, dude, like that's so bad. If you're going like 120 miles an hour, like it's just like, it doesn't matter if you have a helmet. It doesn't matter if you have gear. If you hit a wall at 120 miles an hour, like you're dead, or faster or slower, like you're dead. That is one mistake, one thing. I'm just going to go have fun. I'm just going to haul ass down this road because I just want to go fast, right? And boom, car pulls out in front of you, cop pulls out, who knows, whatever happens, you're either dead or you have a criminal record or what have you, dude. Like, financially, there's a lot of mistakes that can really negatively impact your life as a whole. And so when we think about some of these things that are like, like, holy shit, dude, we could be screwed. Like, we could be done for forever. You could accidentally kill somebody driving too fast in your car, a pedestrian. You could go out and drink and get a DUI, right? It doesn't matter. There's so many little decisions where it's like, I just chose to drive. I chose to drive when I needed to get an Uber. One mistake. Maybe you end up hurting somebody or hurting yourself or killing yourself. One mistake. I was drunk and I turned my car on and I started to go. How crazy is that? And on the exact opposite side, that can be how good decisions are made. 25 years ago, I started my 401k, right? Hypothetically, or 40 years ago, I started my 401k, and now I'm a multimillionaire because of it. One decision that led to a lifetime of positive success to be able to retire. Maybe you started one business, and that one business, that one idea that you actually took seriously and you put the work behind it, but one decision, just get started. And now you're a millionaire, or now you have a successful business, or now you've changed your life for forever. One decision. And I think one decision is so impactful and so important, and you've got to be so mindful when making decisions, and you've got to be positive, right? Meaning when we go out and drink, we have a game plan so that there is no confusion. When we go out on the motorcycle, we wear all the gear and we try and be as safe as possible. When we're driving, we make sure we pay attention, because if we're, even for example, we're texting, right? How many people do you see like, oh, I needed to send one text, and now they'll never send another text again. And that text was so important. Do you want this or that for dinner? And you responded and you got that done. And guess what? Now you never made it home for dinner. So what do we need to do? We need to set guidelines in place to really understand that our decisions are super important and super impactful. That's all I got for you.